Welcome everyone. You've reached Grandma Mo, and we're covering the WNBA. And this was the first game that was played Tuesday on the 26th. And boy, I gotta hand it to the Fever. They just completely outplayed Seattle. And Seattle has been up and down all year long. They either show up and shoot really well, or they still show up, but they have such a height advantage on people, and they somehow cannot exploit that. You have Ezzy, you have Malonga, you have Nneka. Aaliyah Boston schooled them. I mean, Nneka was probably the only one that held her own. But Aaliyah Boston was just she just out-strengthened them. And just put one dribble, boom, into the hoop. And Seattle couldn't stop it. It's funny because the announcers were saying that Seattle has good defense and stuff. I'm like, really? They give up layups. They don't have good team defense. I mean, they have individual defenders that are good. Gabby Williams is a great defender. Brittany Sykes is a good defender. But team-wise, not so much. I mean, the Fever played much better team defense against them. They were hassling. And the Fever's guards outplayed the Seattle guards. Skylar Dickens had 6 points. Brittany Sykes and Erica Wheeler, Erica Wheeler shot bad. She was 2 for 10. Sykes was 4 for 8. She did okay, but she only scored 12 points. The Fever guards, Sims and Mitchell, 21 and 22. And then Aaliyah Boston just anchored down low. She just outplayed Seattle's bigs. You wouldn't believe the difference in the rebounding and the second chance points. The Fever, it wasn't like Seattle wasn't hustling, but they couldn't get anything accomplished for the most part. And they were all over Nneka. And no one else on Seattle, Malonga has been pretty good, but Boston just outplayed her. Just that's what it came down to. So you look at the stats, and these two teams are battling for those last 3 spots. Seattle has one less game to play than the other teams. LA has one more game to play than the other teams. And the Fever's next game is against the Sparks. The Sparks have that same thing. They are tall, they are athletic, they are fast. But they play bad team defense. That's why they lose. There's no help. I'm going to review that game next. But there's no help defense. Boom, right in for a layup. Same thing with Seattle. Anyway, congratulations to the Fever. You got it done. 95-75. And it was a statement win, too. Because you had scored Seattle every single quarter. We had no answers. First quarter, 26-20. Second quarter, 24-19. Third quarter, 24-17. And fourth quarter, 21-19. Just, solid. I wouldn't say there was anything spectacular about Indiana, but they were solid. They didn't make a lot of mistakes. They had 12 team turnovers. 13 turnovers. But Seattle had 14, and that was all even. So there was nothing that hurt them. There was a couple plays here and there, but for the most part, just good, solid game. Playing hard on defense, hustling, all around good game. So, Seattle has now dropped to 20-19, and Indiana is 20-18. So Indiana has two games coming up that are going to determine. They're playing the Sparks and then they're playing the Valkyries, and those two games are probably going to determine whether Indiana gets in or not, because the Sparks have one more game to play than everybody else, and they're also playing tough teams. So it might be, who just finishes the strongest out of, but like Seattle's so up and down, they probably have the easiest schedule and they play one less game. So they might get in that way. If they don't, just lose these close games. I mean, this wasn't even close, but they barely beat, who was it, Washington? Last second shot they beat Washington on. So it's the whole playoff picture comes down to Seattle, Indiana, Valkyries, and LA. Three of those teams are going to make it. One's going to drop out. And it may just be, a game or two. So, I mean, Seattle has an advantage because they have one less game to play. And they also have an easier, I think they have 7 games left. 6 or 7. And they have the easiest opponents of the other 3. But we'll see. We'll see. It ought to be exciting. But, despite all the injuries, the Fever have, they've gotten some really key contributions from Shea Petty and Odyssey Sims. And Ariel Powers came in and played pretty well for the Fever. And then they've been finally putting in Breonna Turner. And I know a lot of fans have been like, oh no, cut her. But you know what? She didn't score a lot of points, but she was in there on defense and made some key plays. And they need another big. Her and Natasha Howard were playing terrific defense. So, anyway, looking at the breakdown of the game, you had, here's a big difference right here. Points in the paint. Indiana 52, Seattle 38. Second chance points. Indiana 22, Seattle 4. Indiana had a 32-point lead at one point. Because the rebound and the shooting percentage, usually in this type of game, Seattle shoots bad. They didn't shoot great, but they didn't shoot horribly either. They shot 47% and Indiana shot 50%. That shouldn't result in a 20-point lead. I mean, a 20-point loss. But then you look at the rebounds. Seattle, 20. You have all those big, tall people, and you only got 21 rebounds. Dominique Malonga got 6 of them. Indiana, 42 rebounds. Points in the paint and rebounds were how they won this game. And that was really good defense by Turner and Howard. And Aaliyah Boston just took it to him. She was 10 for 18 from the floor. She even hit a 3. Seattle only had 2 players in double figures. And the second person in double figures was Brittany Sykes, and she only had 12. Seattle just did not get enough contributions from some of their, really good players. Gabby Williams only scored 2 points. She took 5 shots. I don't know what's happening with her this year. She is such a good player, and she's just not coming through. But she only took 5 shots. Like she was 1 for 5. I don't know, maybe it's just a confidence thing. I mean, Nneka, steady Eddie, Nneka was good. But, in this game, they probably needed Nneka to hit 35. She got 17. She had a steal, 2 turnovers, but she only got 2 rebounds. That was Indiana just out-hustling them to the boards and out-muscling to the boards. 2 rebounds. Nneka was 7 for 11. She was 2 for 2 from 3. She just didn't get enough help. Ezzie, 8 points. She had 3 blocks, which that's her thing. She does that. She had a turnover, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. But Ezzie's she should be in there rebounding, and she's just not getting them. 4 for 7 overall. She took 2 threes, missed them. Sykes, she was 4 for 8, 0 for 2 from 3, 4 for 6 from the line. She had 12 points. She had 3 turnovers, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. Skylar Diggins, only 6 points for Skylar. She only took 3 shots. But that was, Indiana's defense was all over her. And they were all over Sykes. But Skylar somehow got 4 blocks, 4 turnovers, 8 assists, and a rebound. She was 4 for 4 from the line, but only took 3 shots. Erica Wheeler, 6 points. She has, especially earlier in the season, Erica Wheeler played really well for Seattle, but lately she hasn't been shooting very well. I don't know if that has anything to do with the Brittany Sykes acquisition or not. You would think it wouldn't matter, but sometimes it does. She had 1 assist, 3 rebounds. She was 2 for 6 from 3, 2 for 10 overall. Dominique Malonga had 8 points. She was 6 rebounds. She had 2 blocks, a turnover, 2 assists. She was 4 for 10. Tiffany Mitchell had 5 points. She hit a 3 and then 1 other hoop. Mackenzie Holmes came in late in the game. She hit 2 baskets. She ended up getting 3 steals in the end there. Lexi Brown hit a hoop, and I don't know if it's Zaya or Zia. I think it's Zaya Cook. She also came in late in the game and scored 5 points. So Seattle as a team shot 47%, 35% from 3. They were 11 for 15 from the line. Just not good enough. And Indiana didn't have a whole lot of balanced scoring either, but all 3 of their double figures were over 20 points. So you had Lexi Hull. She went out on a really scary collision, but she came back. I didn't know if she was going to come back from that, but she did. She had 5 points, 9 rebounds. 9. She is just, Lexi Hustle instead of Charlie Hustle. It is Lexi Hustle. She is the definition of, 110% hustle throughout the game. And she never lets up. She had a steal, a turnover, an assist, 9 rebounds. She was 2 for 3, and she hit a 3. And Tasha Howard, 6 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. She was 2 for 2 from the line and 2 for 2 from the floor overall. So, Aaliyah Boston, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals. Tasha Howard also had a block. Let's see. She was 10 for 18, 6 for 9 from the free throw line, and 1 for 2 from 3. And then you had Kelsey Mitchell, 21 points, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 2 assists. She was 8 for 15 overall, 2 for 4 from 3, and 3 for 3 at the line. Odyssey Sims, 22 points. She had 6 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, and 3 rebounds. She was 3 for 4 from 3, 8 for 14 overall, and 3 for 4 from the line. And then you had Ariel Powers. She was hustling all. She only scored 2 points, but she got 9 rebounds too. She had 2 turnovers, a steal, 1 assist. She was 1 for 3. Brianna Turner also 1 for 3. She was 2 for 2 from the foul line. She got 4 rebounds, 1 assist. She got a block, and so she ended up with 4 points. Shea Petty, 2 points for her. She was 1 for 4. She took 3 threes but missed them all. Dantas, 4 points. She had 2 turnovers and assists, 2 rebounds. She was 0 for 3 from 3, 2 for 6 overall. And then Timpson came in late in the game. She was 1 for 1, and she had 2 points. So that rounds that out. Indiana shot 50% from the floor, 41% from 3, and they were 80% from the free throw line. So that one wraps up this game, and it's making it nice and interesting to see who gets those last 3 playoff spots. Boy, it's going to be interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.